Hi. The video you are about to watch may contain scenes and scenarios and language of a highly adult nature, so if you are under the age of 18, do not watch this video. Watch one of my other videos that is not about rich people doing naughty things. So, viewer discretion is advised. Have the kids gone yet? Good, because hey, what is up? This is Couch Potato Mike. There's a fly on my light. Go away. And we are back in the book club here for chapter 17? Is it 17? Yes, 17 of Freed, which is 50 Shades Freed, as told by Christian, written by E.L.James. And we're this far into the book. I had somebody ask me if I wouldn't mind holding the book up so you guys could see where it... I'll fly away. See how far I am in the book, and we're about that far. So yeah, we're coming along. It's a long book. I love it. We got a lot more to go. So before we get into today's chapter, which should be the nuptials of one Mr. Christian Grey and one Miss Anastasia Steele, I would like to remind you guys to subscribe and give me a thumbs up for that pesky YouTube algorithm, and remember to how does that guy say it? Tickle the little bell icon. I always hate that. Just ring the bell. Hit the bell button so when you get notifications about when I'm going to do this stuff. And I would like to thank everybody who has commented on the videos. And if you have anything else you want to say, just put it down below. Now, I've got two suggestions for what my next book is going to be. So I want you guys, I'm going to actually let you guys decide on that. Would you rather I read 44 chapters about 4 men? Or would you rather I read, I think it's called Midnight Sun, which is the Twilight Saga as told by Edward Cullen, keeping up with the theme of, that sort of thing. I also kind of want to read that other book that I can't remember the name of it, but it's Twilight Reimagined, also written by Stephanie Meyer, where the sexes are reversed. So just let me know. Something from Twilight or 44 chapters about 4 men. The voting starts now, I guess. But while you guys are deciding about that, I'm just going to go ahead and read chapter 17, which takes place on Saturday, July the 30th, 2011. Fasten in, guys. Get yourself a glass of wine. Cozy up to a nice fire and get comfortable, because this is a long one. Elliot takes a swig of Macallan. It's just after midnight, and he's sprawled out on my couch, feet up, taking up about as much space as he can. The man has no sense of decorum. Man, this is good scotch. Should be. It's expensive. What did she get you? He asks. From my pocket, I remove a turquoise Tiffany box that contains my wedding gift from Anna. Opening it up for the second time, I study the platinum cufflinks, engraved with an elaborate C entwined with an A. She's never bought me anything like this, and I love them. I'll wear them tomorrow when we marry. I hand them to Elliot, and he nods in approval as he examines them. Nice gift. Yes, they're perfect. It's late, bro, he yawns. We should turn in case it slipped your mind, you're getting hitched in the morning. We should. My sip of Armagnac warms the back of my mouth before sliding smoothly down my throat. It'll be weird sleeping on my own. Now there's a sentence I never thought I'd utter. Tonight was cool, he says, ignoring me. I dig Anna's parents. Bob doesn't say much. Come to think of it, Anna's dad doesn't either. They're both taciturn. I arch an eyebrow. Carla has a type. Elliot laughs. It's always the quiet ones, like you, hotshot. He raises his glass and grins at me. Fuck off, Elliot. I scowl at him. Like me? I have no idea what you're alluding to, and I don't even want to think about it. They're my in-laws, for fuck's sake. I don't know. Anna's mom's hot. I could get into older women. I'm not going there with Elliot. Dude, what about Kavanaugh? He gives me a sheepish grin, and I think he's kidding. Bet you're glad all the parentals hit it off. He steers us to safer ground. And Ray is a Mariners fan, so he can't be all bad, but the jury is out on the Sounders. I'm not a fan of soccer. I nod. It's a relief. Even Raymond's steel loosened up under Grace's warm and tireless attention. And there's no animosity between him and Anna's mother, so that's good news. Ray has retired for the night. It's ironic that he's sleeping in the bedroom I had hoped would be Anna's if she had agreed to be my submissive. Perhaps it's best if I keep that information to myself. And your Mrs. Jones did you proud, Elliot continues. She did. Gail is a great cook. I think she likes to stretch her culinary legs on occasion. Elliot downs his drink and smacks his lips together in appreciation. Uncouth, bro. Uncouth. That's damn fine whiskey, hotshot. I'm gonna turn in. You? I have some business to attend to. Elliot looks at his watch. Now? It's late. I need to deal with an email that came in before dinner. It won't take long. I'm not sure I can sleep anyway. It's your funeral. Well, wedding. He grins and bounds off the couch with his usual spontaneous energy. Good night. Try and sleep, Kay. He punches me on the arm and takes his leave. Good night, I call after him. Don't forget the rings. He responds with the finger. In spite of myself, he makes me chuckle. Rising, I slip the Tiffany box back into my pocket. In my study, I open the email that has been preoccupying me since I received it earlier this evening. It's from Welch, and it contains the report from the NTSB on Charlie Tango's accident. From Welch HC, subject NTSB report, date July 29th, 2011, 1857, to Christian Gray, CC JB Taylor. Mr. Gray, attached is the detailed report from the National Transportation Safety Board. They have been more than thorough and confirmed sabotage. The fuel lines were cut, allowing aviation kerosene to leak into the engines. The report has been forwarded to the FBI and will be used to continue the criminal investigation. Fortunately, the NTSB has kept them updated, and the FBI dusted for prints last week as part of their investigation. They are in the process of eliminating the engineers and ground staff from their inquiries, but at present, they're no nearer to finding a suspect. Tomorrow I'd like to move the Gulfstream to SeaTac, so you'll depart from there and not Boeing Field. I'll arrange for you to be dropped off airside. I've added 4 additional security officers to your wedding detail. Resumes are attached. Taylor has approved them. 2 of them have been dispatched to the wedding venue to keep watch overnight. Apologies for this arriving on the eve of your nuptials. Leave this with us and try to enjoy your big day. Welch. Fuck. Our instincts were right. But who wants to kill me? Who? I type a quick response to Welch. From Christian Gray, subject NTSB report, July 30th, 2011, 12:23, Welch HC, CC JB Taylor. Agreed, and thanks. Christian Gray, CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. I toss back the remains of my Armagnac and decide to read the full report in bed. I'm on my own because Anna left with my parents to stay at their place tonight. To hell with these stupid traditions. She should be here with me. I miss her. At least Sawyer went with her. He'll watch over her. As I gather up the pages of the NTSB report from my printer, my mood grows bleaker. I am done with this shit. The report is extensive and rather dull, but in spite of my drooping eyelids, I managed to finish it. The next steps are to hand Charlie Tango over to the FBI, and once they've finished with her, they'll return her to Eurocopter for a full assessment. I'm hopeful she can be repaired and GEH won't have to deal with any insurance adjusters. I switch off my side light and stare up at the ceiling. Why is this happening the night before my wedding? I'm shrouded in darkness and conscious of my empty feeling creeping into my chest. I'm now able to recognize it as loneliness. My heart is a missing piece, as Anna is not beside me. Though strictly speaking, I'm not alone. My future father-in-law is probably asleep above me, Elliot is in the spare bedroom next door, and the staff quarters are almost at capacity. But Anastasia Steele is conspicuous by her absence. I wish she were here. I'd wrap her in my arms and lose myself in her. I'm tempted to text her, but I might wake her and she needs her sleep. Fuck it. Without her, I'm lost. And someone out there wants me dead, and we don't know who. Damn, push it from your mind, Gray. I close my eyes. Breathe, Gray, breathe. I start counting sheep. We are soaring. Anna is in the front of the cockpit, her hands stretched out to the canopy, squealing with joy and wonder. My heart is full. This is happiness. This is love. This is what it feels like. We're on top of the world. Our life stretched in a colorful patchwork of greens and browns beneath us. I bank and suddenly I'm in a tailspin. Anna is screaming, screaming. We're in Charlie Tango and we're losing height. I smell the fire. I'm fighting the controls to keep my helicopter upright. I need to find a place to land. All I hear is the roar of engines and Anna screaming. We're going down. Fuck. Spinning. Down. 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 Shit. I'm gonna hit the ground. No. No. Anna is lying on a sticky green rug. I'm shaking her. She won't wake up. Anna. 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 There's a crash and he fills the doorway. There you are, you little shit. No. No. Anna. 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 I'm jerked awake. A fine film of sweat bathing my chest and stomach in the first blinks of dawn. It's too early. I rub my face, bringing my breathing and terror under control. I then close my eyes and turn over. Reaching out, I grab Anna's pillow and tug it toward me. I immerse myself in her scent. Grandpa Theodore hands me an apple. It's bright red and sweet. There's a light breeze on my face. It's cooling in the sunshine. We stand together in the orchard. He holds my hand. His palm is rough with calluses. Mom and Dad and Elliot are coming. They have a picnic basket. Dad lays out the blanket and Anna sits down on the blanket. Anna, she's here. With me. With us. She laughs and I laugh. Anna caresses my face. Here, she says, and she hands me baby Mia. Mia. And suddenly I'm 6 again. Mia, I whisper. Mom looks at me. What did you say? Mia. Yes. Yes, darling boy, you have your words. Mia. Her name is Mia. And Mommy starts to cry happy tears. I open my eyes, startled by an image from my dream that I can't quite grasp. What was I dreaming about? The sun is higher in the sky, announcing that it's a more acceptable time to rise. I shake my head to rouse myself, and then I remember. Today, I make Anna mine. Today at 12 p.m. Yes. And then I get to spend 3 weeks with her in Europe. I can't wait to show Anna all the sights. As I lie in bed feeling excited about what I have planned, I have an idea. I'm going to pack a few toys from the playroom to add to the fun. Yes. I bound out of bed, grab a t-shirt, and head toward the kitchen. From the corridor, I hear voices. Ray is sitting at the kitchen counter, tucking into bacon, eggs, hash browns, and sausages. He's chatting with Mrs. Jones. Unlike me, he's dressed in his wedding shirt and tuxedo pants. Good morning, I greet him. Good morning, Christian. How are you feeling? Good. Morning, Mr. Gray, Gail gushes. Coffee? Please. It's a mighty fine place you have here, Ray says, motioning to the ceiling with his knife. Thank you. And it tells me you've bought a house. Yes, it's up the coast, Ray nods. She says you have a place in Aspen and New York, too. Yes, property. It's about diversifying my portfolio. He nods but gives nothing away. A lot of places for one person to mind. Well, after today, there'll be 2 of us minding them. His eyebrows rise high into his forehead, and a slow smile that is either admiration or incredulity spreads across his face. I hope it's admiration. I guess you're right, he says. I want to move the conversation off this topic. Did you sleep well? I did. The room is probably one of the fanciest I've stayed in, and that is some view. I'm glad you were comfortable. Here you are, Mr. Gray. Mrs. Jones places a black coffee on the counter in front of me. Thank you, Gail. What would you like for breakfast? What Ray's having. She smiles. Coming right up, sir. I slide onto the stool beside Ray and ask him if he's been fishing recently. His eyes light up. Even I have to admit that Elliot looks good in a tux. We're in the back of the Q7 and nearing our parents' place in Bellevue. How are you feeling, he asks. I wish people would stop asking me that. You, nervous? You're the coolest dude I know. What gives? Is it because you're saddling yourself to the same woman for the rest of your life? I'd be nervous too. I roll my eyes. Your promiscuity knows no bounds, Elliot. One of these days, someone is going to turn your world upside down. I didn't know it would happen to me, and yet here we are. His eyes cloud, and he looks out the window as we pull up to our parents' house. There are a number of cars queuing for the valet service, and the guests in their wedding finery are following the pale pink carpet to the rear of the house. As Taylor steers us into the driveway, two guys in dark suits with discreet earpieces and regulation aviators step forward and open our doors. They're the additional security. Ready? Asks Elliot with a quick, reassuring glance at me. If you want to back out, there's still time. Fuck off. He grins and climbs out of the car. I take a deep breath. This is it. Showtime, Gray. My phone buzzes and I glance at it. Fuck! My scalp tingles. It's a text from Elena. Elena, you're making a big mistake. I know you. But I'll be here for you when your life falls apart. And it will. I'll be here because in spite of what I said, I love you. I'll always love you. What the everlasting fuck is this? Christian! Elliot distracts me. Are you coming? He's waiting. Yes, I snap. I quickly delete the text and climb out of the car. Fuck her. You okay? Elliot frowns when I join him. Yes, let's do this. I storm ahead, trying to bring my burst of anger under control. How dare Elena try to derail me on the day of my wedding? I ignore the young woman who's standing on the path, all smiles. She's carrying a clipboard, but I charge past her, leaving Elliot to check in with her. As I head through the front door, Grace is in the hall. Darling, you're here. Mother, you look so handsome, Christian. She puts her arms around me, gives me a swift, restrained hug, and inclines her head toward me, offering a cheek. Mom, I whisper, and she steps back, concern flashing in her eyes. Are you okay? I nod, not trusting myself to speak. Anna's upstairs. You can't see her until the wedding. She slept in your room last night. Come with me. She takes my hand and leads me down the hallway into the den. Is it nerves, darling? I'd hug you properly, but I don't want to get makeup on your suit, Grace says. The aesthetician put it on with a trowel. It will take months to get it off. I laugh, and I'm so grateful that it's Grace I got to see first. I'm okay, Mom. She clasps both my hands. Are you sure? Yes. My anger is evaporated, beaten back by the woman I call Mom, and I resolve that, today of all days, I will not think about Mrs. Lincoln. I'm so excited for you, darling, Grace adds, beaming up at me. You look good, Mom, makeup and all. Thank you, dear. Oh, the donations to Coping Together have been unprecedented. I can't thank you enough. It's so generous of you. I chuckle. That was Anna's idea, not mine. Oh, that's lovely. She's trying to hide her surprise. I told you, she's not acquisitive. Of course she isn't. It's a wonderful gesture on both your parts. Are you sure you're okay? Yes, I got an aggravating text from an old business associate. Grace narrows her eyes, and I think I may have said too much, but she chooses to ignore my explanation and checks her watch. Kickoff is in 15 minutes. I have your boutonniere here. Now, do you want to wait here or go out to the pavilion? I think Elliot and I should go take our seats and wait. Mom pins the white rose to my lapel and steps back to admire her handiwork. Oh, darling. She stops, placing her fingers over her lips, and I think she's going to cry. Shit, Mom. My throat tightens, but Elliot steps into the room, saving us both. What am I, chopped liver? He chastises Grace with a wicked gleam in his eye. Oh, darling, you look so handsome, too. She recovers and cups his face and pinches his cheeks, and I feel a momentary stab of envy that they have such a touchy-feely relationship. Mom, you look like a queen. My brother, charming as ever, plants a kiss on her forehead. She laughs, a girlish, sweet laugh, and she pats her hair. You boys, she admonishes us. You'd better get out there. The ushers will show you where to go, but first let me pin on your boutonniere, Elliot. As we head to the pavilion, Taylor intercepts me. Sir, I've picked up Miss Steele's suitcase and everything else has been sent on to SeaTac. Excellent. Thanks, Taylor. His lips twitch into a smile. Good luck, sir. I nod my thanks and continue with Elliot toward the barn-like tent. A string quartet is playing Halo by Beyonce while I wait for Miss Anastasia Steele. My folks have gone all out. The pavilion looks opulent. Elliot and I are seated at the front of several rows of gold chairs, which are filling up fast. I stare at the scene in front of me, noting all the details, hoping it will distract me from my nerves. A pale pink carpet leads to an impressive, arched, flowery bower pitched at the water's edge. It's made of white and pink roses, intertwined with ivy and pale pink peonies that remind me of Anna's blushing cheeks. Reverend Michael Walsh, my mother's friend and her hospital's chaplain, will officiate. He's standing in the designated place, patiently waiting, like us. His dark eyes twinkle at Elliot and me. Behind the floral arch, the sun skips across the shining waters of Maidenbower Bay. It's a beautiful day to get married. One of the official photographers is stationed near Walsh, and her lens is directed at me. I look away and turn to Elliot. You've got the rings? I ask, probably for the 10th time. Yes, he hisses. Dude, just checking. I turn and survey our guests as they arrive, nodding and waving to those I know. Bastille and his wife are here. Flynn Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. Bastille and his wife are here. Flynn arrives with his wife, Rianne, each holding one of their small boys firmly by the hand. Taylor and Gail are seated together. The photographer, Jose Rodriguez, and his father are here. Roz arrives with her partner, Gwen, and they usher the little girls into their seats. Eamon Cavanaugh, his wife, Britt, and Ethan are here. Mia will be pleased. Max salutes me. He's sitting with a young blonde woman I've not seen before. Grandma and Grandpa Trevelyan are shown to their seats near us. Grandma waves enthusiastically at both Elliot and me. Alondra Gutierrez is in the background, directing her small team of people. There are a number of guests that I don't recognize, either friends of my folks or of Anna's parents. My mother and father and Carla and Bob make their way to the front of the gathering to take their seats. My dad breaks rank and dashes toward us. He's brimming with pride, and Elliot and I both stand to greet him. Dad, I hold my hand out to shake his, but he takes it and pulls me into a bear-like hug. Good luck, son, he enthuses. I'm so proud of you. Thanks, Dad. I squeeze the words past the sudden tangled knot of emotion that's lodged in my throat. Elliot, Carrick hugs him too. The general buzz of the congregation changes to an expectant hush. Dad scuttles back to his seat behind us as the string quartet breaks into chasing cars. Of course, Snow Patrol, one of Anna's favorite bands. She loves this song. Mia is walking down the central aisle, dressed in a pale pink explosion of tulle. Behind her, Kate Cavanaugh looks sleek and elegant in a pale pink silk gown. Anna. My mouth dries. She's stunning. She's in a fitted white lace dress, her shoulders bare but for a gossamer thin veil. Her hair is pinned in an updo with a few tendrils framing her beautiful face. Her bridal bouquet is intricate, made of pink and white roses woven together. Ray walks by her side, his hand covering hers as she grips his arm, and it's obvious he's holding back his tears. Oh, shit. The knot tightens in my throat. Anna's eyes meet mine, and beneath her veil, her face lights up like a summer's day, her smile electrifying. Oh, baby. They walk up beside us, and Anna passes her bouquet to Kate, who stands with Mia. Ray raises Anna's veil and kisses her cheek. I love you, Annie, I hear him say, his voice hoarse, and turning to me, he gives me Anna's hand. Our eyes meet, his glistening, and I have to look away because his expression may be my undoing. Hi, I say to my bride, because that's all I'm capable of right now. Hi, she replies and squeezes my hand. You look lovely. So do you, she grins, and all my nerves melt away, as does the music, and it's just Anna and me and Reverend Michael. He clears his throat, commanding everybody's attention, and the wedding begins. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to witness the joining in matrimony of Christian Trevelyan Gray and Anastasia Rose Steele. The good Reverend smiles benevolently down at both of us, and I tighten my hold on Anna's hand. He asks the congregation if anyone knows of an impediment to our marriage. Elena's text flits through my mind, and I'm annoyed with myself that I let it. Fortunately, Anna distracts me by glancing back at the crowd. When no one says anything, a collective sigh of relief flutters through the gathering, followed by a muffled chuckles and titters. Anna peeks up at me, her eyes sparkling in amusement. Phew, I mouth. Anna stifles her smile. Reverend Michael asks us each in turn to declare that there's no legal reason why we can't be joined in marriage. As he addresses us about the seriousness of our commitment to each other, the burning sensation returns to my throat. Anna watches him, absorbed, and I notice she's wearing elegant drop pearl earrings I've not seen before. I wonder if they are a present from her folks. And now, I invite both of you to offer your vows to each other. He looks encouragingly at me. Christian? I take a deep breath, and gazing at the love of my life, I recite my vows from memory, my words ringing out over the throng. I, Christian Trevelyan Gray, do take thee, Anastasia Rose Steele, to be my lawfully wedded wife. I solemnly vow that I will safeguard and hold dear and deep in my heart our union and you. I promise to love you faithfully, forsaking all others, through the good times and the bad, in sickness and in health. Regardless of where life takes us, I will protect you, trust you, and respect you. Tears glimmer in Anna's eyes, and the tip of her nose turns a fetching pink. I will share your sorrows and comfort you. I will share your joys and sorrows and comfort you in times of need. I promise to cherish you and uphold your hopes and dreams, and to keep you safe at my side. All that is mine is now yours. I give my hand, my heart, and my love, from this moment on, for as long as we both shall live. Anna wipes a tear from her eye, and I take a deep breath, relieved that I've remembered the words. Hannah, the good Reverend prompts her. From beneath her sleeve, she takes a small sip of pink paper and reads, I, Anastasia Rose Steele, do take thee, Christian Trevelyan Gray, to be my lawfully wedded husband. I give you my solemn vow to be your faithful partner, in sickness and in health, to stand by your side in good times and in bad, to share your joy as well as your sorrow. She gazes up at me and continues her vows without reading, and I stop breathing. I promise to love you unconditionally, to support you in your goals and dreams, to honor and respect you, to laugh with you and cry with you, to share my hopes and dreams with you, and bring you solace in times of need, and to cherish you for as long as we both shall live. She blinks back her tears, and I fight mine. You two will now exchange rings as a symbol of your abiding love for each other. A ring is a constant circle. It is unbroken and everlasting, a symbol of perpetual unity. So too will be your commitment to each other, and to this marriage, from this day forth, until death do you part. Christian, place the ring on Anastasia's finger. Elliot hands me Anna's ring, and I position it at the tip of Anna's left ring finger. Repeat after me, Reverend Michael says. Anastasia, I give you this ring as a sign of our enduring faith in each other, our unity, and our everlasting love. I repeat the words loud and clear and slip the ring fully onto Anna's finger. Anastasia, place the ring on Christian's finger, Reverend Michael says, Elliot flashes a grin at Anna and passes her my ring. Repeat after me, the Reverend continues. Christian, I give you this ring as a sign of our enduring faith in each other, our unity, and our everlasting love. Anna's words sound out sweetly for the rest of the congregation to hear, as she slips the ring onto my finger. Reverend Michael clasps both of our hands in his and says in a booming voice to our audience, Love is the reason we are here. Marriage is founded on love. These two young people have pledged their everlasting love to each other. We honor them and wish them strength, courage, and trust to grow together, to learn from each other, and to remain true to each other on the path that life takes them. Christian and Anastasia, you two have agreed to be married and to live together in matrimony. You have declared your love for each other and promised to uphold that love with your vows. With the power vested in me by the state of Washington, I now declare you husband and wife. He releases our hands, and Anna beams up at me. Wife, mine. My heart soars. You may kiss the bride, Reverend Michael says with a huge grin. Finally, you're mine, I whisper, and pull her into my arms, flush against me, and plant a soft kiss on her lips. There are tiny buttons at the back of her dress, and I fantasize about slowly undoing them. I ignore the cheers and applause from our guests as my body comes alive. You look beautiful, Anna. I caress her face. Don't let anyone take that dress off but me, understand? I gaze down at her, trying to convey a sensual promise. She nods, her eyes darkening with desire. Oh, Anna. I want to pick her up and carry her to my boyhood room and consummate our marriage. Now. But I'm sure I won't get away with that. Get a grip, Gray. Ready to party, Mrs. Gray? I smile at my wife. Ready as I'll ever be. I bask in the warmth of her smile. Taking her hand, I extend the other to Reverend Michael. Thank you, Reverend. That was a lovely ceremony. And it was brief. I had my instructions, he says, and shakes our hands in turn. Congratulations, both of you. I have to release Anna as Kate drags her into a hug, and Elliot wraps his arms around me. Man, you did it! Congratulations! Christian! Mia hollers and barrels into my arms. I love you, Anna! I love you! She gushes and crushes me. Mia, steady, I need my ribs intact. So begins an endless round of congratulations, kisses, and hugs. I gird my loins to tolerate all the unnecessary touching I'm about to endure. It helps that I'm elated. When I turn to my mother, she's sobbing. I give her a brief hug, mindful of her makeup, while Carrick slaps me on the back. Carla and Bob are next. Ray Steele shakes my hand, squeezes harder and harder. Congratulations, Christian. You should know if you hurt her, I'll kill you. I'd expect no less, Ray. I'm glad we understand each other. He grins and releases my now throbbing hand and claps me on the back. I flex my fingers and remind myself that Raymond Steele is ex-Army. Sipping a coup of vintage Grand Année Rosé, I watch my beautiful wife as she makes her way toward me. We've just completed what feels like a major photo shoot with the wedding photographers, and now I'm standing near our table in hope of having a bite to eat. Getting married has given me an appetite. Anna stops every so often to talk to our guests, welcoming them and graciously receiving their good wishes. Her light shines so bright, her smile bringing everyone she greets to life. She's an extraordinary person, a stunning woman, and she's mine. When she finally reaches me, I take her hand and pull it to my lips. Hi, I whisper. I've missed you. Hi, I've missed you too. You've dispensed with your veil. It was lovely. It was, but people kept treading on it. I cringe. That must have been annoying. It was. My father takes the microphone. Good afternoon, all, he says. Welcome to our home here in Bellevue and to Christian and Anna's wedding. If you don't know me, I'm very proud to say I'm Christian's dad, Carrick. I'm hoping to speak to all of you at some point during the afternoon or evening. In the meantime, you should all have a glass of the good stuff, and I'd like us all to raise our glasses to Christian and his beautiful wife, Anna. Congratulations, you two. Welcome to the family, Anna. And both of you, be kind to each other. To Christian and Anna. My father gives me a warm, tender smile, which I feel all the way to my toes. I raise my glass to him as everyone raises their glasses, and the words Christian and Anna hover all around us. Please, make your way to your table. We'll be starting lunch shortly, Dad continues. I pull out Anna's chair. She sits and I take the seat beside her. From here we have the best view of the entire pavilion. I'm thankful to be seated at last. I'm ravenous. The table looks lovely, covered in white linen and floral arrangements with white and pink roses. Our parents join us with Elliot and Kate and Mia and Bob. Anna and my mom have opted for a buffet, but as the bridal party, we're served our appetizers while our guests find their seats. There's fresh sourdough and some herby-looking butter, and a delicious cheese souffle with a delicate garden salad. My wife and I tuck in. Elliot is going to make a speech. He's had several glasses of champagne, so this could go either way. We finished our entree of king salmon en croûte, and I take a gulp of boulanger and brace myself. Elliot winks at me and rises from the table. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. I've drawn the short straw. I'm honored to be Christian's best man and his brother, and to be asked to make a speech, but forgive me. Public speaking is not my thing. Growing up with Christian Grey was not my thing either. He was a nightmare of a brother. Just ask my folks. Fuck Elliot. But this gets a laugh. Anna squeezes my hand. This man could beat the shit out of me, and did, frequently, and any of you who has ever kickboxed with him will know, don't mess with him. He's badass. He's a solitary guy. When he was younger, he'd rather have his head stuck in a book than be out tearing up the town with the likes of me. You've all heard about how he found school challenging, so I'll gloss over that. But somehow, by some fluke, and not because he's smart or anything, he managed to get some sort of an education and even talked his way into Harvard. But it turned out Harvard wasn't for him either. He wanted to throw himself into the world of commerce and high finance. So he did. He's doing kind of okay with that. Elliot shrugs, apparently unimpressed, and again, the audience laughs. During this whole time, not once did he show any interest in the opposite sex. None. Well, I'll leave you to deduce what we all thought. Oh, for fuck's sake. I roll my eyes and Elliot grins. So imagine our collective surprise and delight when not too long ago he shows up with this beautiful young woman, Anastasia Steele. It was obvious from the beginning that she'd captured his heart. And for some strange reason, maybe she was dropped on her head as a child, he shrugs once more, she fell for him. Again with the laughter from our guests. Today they tied the knot, and I just want to say, Christian, Anna, congratulations. We are rooting for you. And no, she's not pregnant. There's a communal gasp all around the tables. To our bride and groom, Anna and Christian. He raises his glass. I want to kill him, and judging by Ray Steele's expression, so does he. Anna's cheeks are pink, and she looks a little shocked. Thanks, Elliot, she says, laughing. I throw my napkin at him and turn to Anna. Shall we cut the cake? Sure. The DJ is primed and ready as Anna and I make our way to the dance floor. I sweep her into my arms as everyone gathers around us, and Anna settles her arms around my neck. The sweet, soulful words of the song ring through the pavilion, and from the corner of my eye I see Carla clutch her throat in recognition. And then I've only got eyes for my wife as Corinne Bailey Ray starts to sing Like a Star. Everyone else fades away, and it's just the two of us gliding across the floor. Like a star across my sky, Anna whispers. She lifts her lips to mine, and I'm lost. And found. Mom, thank you for not insisting on a Catholic wedding. Don't be ridiculous, Christian. I couldn't force it on you. I thought Michael did a wonderful service. He did. Leaning forward, I kiss my mother on her forehead. She closes her eyes, and when she opens them again, they burn with a curious intensity. You look so happy, darling. I'm so thrilled for both of you. Thanks, Mom. I glance over to where Kate and Anna are in deep conversation. Elliot is watching them. No, Elliot is watching Kate. He can't take his eyes off her. Perhaps he cares for her more than he's letting on. The dance floor is full. Ray and Carl are taking a turn. They really do get on. I glance at my watch. It's 5 p.m. Time we thought about leaving. I amble over toward my wife. Kate hugs her, hard, and grins at me, and I feel slightly less antagonistic toward her. Hi, baby. I slip my arms around Anna and kiss her temple. Kate, I acknowledge her. Hello again, Christian. I'm off to find your best man, who happens to be my best man, too. With a smile to us both, she heads over to Elliot, who is drinking with Ethan and Jose. Time to go, I whisper. I'm done with this party. I want to be alone with my wife. Already? Anna says. This is the first party I've been to where I don't mind being the center of attention. She turns in my arms and smiles up at me. You deserve to be. You look stunning, Anastasia. So do you. This beautiful dress becomes you. I love how it reveals her enticing shoulders. This old thing? She peers up at me in that way that she does, all shy and bewitching through her lashes. She's irresistible. Leaning down, I kiss her. Let's go. I don't want to share you with all these people anymore. Can we leave our own wedding? Baby, it's our party and we can do whatever we want. We've cut the cake, and right now I'd like to whisk you away and have you all to myself. She giggles. You have me for a lifetime, Mr. Gray. I'm very glad to hear that, Mrs. Gray. Oh, there you two are, such lovebirds. Oh, shit. Grandma Trevelyan strikes. Christian, darling, one more dance with your grandmother. Of course, grandmother. I swallow my sigh. And you, beautiful Anastasia, go and make an old man happy. Dance with Theo. Theo, Mrs. Trevelyan? Grandpa Trevelyan. And I think you can call me Grandma. Now, you two seriously need to get working on my great-grandkids. I won't last too much longer. Her smile borders on the lecherous. Grandma, Jesus. Come, grandmother, I say hastily. We have years before we have to think about kids. I lead her slowly onto the dance floor, glancing apologetically at Anna and rolling my eyes. Laters, baby. Anna gives me a little wave. Oh, darling boy, you look so handsome in your suit. And your bride is stunning. You'll make beautiful children together. One day, grandmother. Are you enjoying the wedding? I need to move her on to another subject. Your parents know how to throw a party. Of course your mother gets that from me. Theo would rather be puttering around on the farm, but then you know that. I do. I have a stack of fond memories of helping Grandpa in his orchard. It's one of my favorite places. I'll have to bring Anna to visit. You must. You promise now. I promise. We shuffle around the dance floor to Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars track. A Bruno Mars track, which morphs into Moves Like Jagger by Maroon 5. My grandmother is loving it. I think she may have consumed a little too much Bollinger. But when the first few bars of Sex on Fire blasts over the speaker, I decide it's time to deliver Grandma back to her table. Anna is not here. I sit down with Grandpa Trevelyan, and he tells me how he's expecting a bumper harvest this fall. Those apples will be the sweetest yet. I can't wait to try one, I shout, because he's a little hard of hearing. You happy, boy? He asks. Very. Yeah, you look it. He pats my knee. It's good to see. Your bride, she's a beautiful girl. You take good care of her, mind, and she'll take good care of you. I'm going to do just that. Right now, I'm going to find her. Good to see you, Grandpa. I think she went to the restroom. I stand and Flynn approaches me, holding one of his boys asleep on his shoulder. Rianne, his wife, holds the other, also out for the count. John! Christian, congratulations. Lovely wedding. He shakes my hand. You know I'd hug you, but I'm burdened with a small child, and I think it might breach our doctor-patient ethics. I laugh. You're good. Thanks for coming. Good day, Christian, Rianne says. Great wedding. We have to take these two rascals home. They were very well behaved. That's because we drugged them, she winks. I gasp. That's a joke, John side-eyes his wife. Tempting though that might be on occasion, we've not resorted to it yet. She laughs. They're exhausted from running around the yard. Your folks have so much space here. Enjoy your honeymoon, Flynn says and takes Rianne's hand. Thank you. Goodbye. I watch them stroll across the lawn toward the house, weighed down by their responsibilities. Better them than me. I spy Anna standing on the terrace by the French doors to the house and text Taylor that we'd like to leave. I stick my hands in my pants pockets and amble over the lawn toward my wife. She's pensive as she watches the dancing and the luminous dusk over distant Seattle. I wonder what she's thinking about. Hi, I say as I reach her. Hi, she smiles. Let's go. I'm a little impatient to be alone with my wife. I have to change. She reaches for my hand, and I think she means to drag me inside, but I resist. Her brows knit together in confusion. I thought you wanted to be the one to take this dress off, she states. Correct. I squeeze her hand. But I'm not undressing you here. We wouldn't leave until, I don't know. I wave my hand, hoping that's enough of an explanation. She blushes and releases me. As much as I want to peel her out of that dress, we have a jet waiting for us with an allotted takeoff time. And don't take your hair down either, I whisper, trying and failing to keep my desire out of my tone. But, she frowns. No buts, Anastasia. You look beautiful, and I want to be the one to undress you. Pack your going-away clothes. You'll need them for when we arrive at our destination. Taylor has your main suitcase. Okay. She gives me a sweet smile, and I leave her and go in search of my mother and Alondra to tell them we're off. It's Alondra I find first. Thank you, I shake her hand. Everything went so well. You're so welcome, Mr. Gray. I'll round everyone up right now. Great, thanks again. A misty-eyed Carla watches her daughter and ex-husband exchanging an awkward hug while Anna clutches her wedding bouquet. Anna's eyes glisten. You make one hell of a wife, too, Ray murmurs. And once again tears glint in his eyes. Spying me, he shakes his head and then my hand warmly. Look after my girl, Christian. I fully intend to, Ray. Carla. I give Anna's mom a kiss on the cheek. Outside the French doors, our remaining guests have gathered and formed a human arch from the terrace around the side of the house and all the way to the front. I check Anna's expression. Her smile is back. Ready? Yes. Hand in hand, we duck beneath all the outstretched arms and dash through the arch, where we're showered with rice and good wishes and luck and love. At the end, my mom and dad are waiting. Thank you, Mom, I whisper as she hugs me, no longer worried about getting makeup on my suit. Dad pulls me into another hug. Well done, son. Have a wonderful honeymoon. They both kiss and hug Anna, and Grace starts crying again. Mom, get it together. Taylor, standing by the driver's door, moves to open the back passenger door. I shake my head, and instead I open it for Anna, who turns suddenly and tosses her wedding bouquet into the waiting crowd. Mia catches it with a loud whoop of joy that can be heard above the whistles and cheers of approval from everyone gathered to say goodbye. I help Anna into the Audi, scooping her dress up so it doesn't catch in the door. Giving everyone a quick wave, I sprint to the other side of the car where Taylor is holding open my door. Congratulations, sir, he says warmly. Thank you, Taylor. I slide in beside my wife. Thank God we're finally leaving. I thought we'd never get away. Taylor eases the Audi down the driveway to the sound of enthusiastic cheers and rice pelting the car. Reaching for Anna's hand, I draw her knuckles to my lips and kiss each one in turn. So far, so good, Mrs. Gray? So far, so wonderful, Mr. Gray. Where are we going? SeaTac. Anna looks puzzled, so I brush my thumb across her lips. Trust me? Implicitly, she breathes. How was your wedding? Fantastic. Yours? Amazing. And we're grinning at each other like idiots. We drive airside through the security gates at SeaTac and steer toward the GEH Gulf Stream. Don't tell me you're misusing company property again, Anna blurts when she spots the plane. Her eyes shine and she grips my hand, radiating excitement. Oh, I hope so, Anastasia. I give her my most wicked grin. Taylor stops the car at the foot of the steps to the plane, climbs out and opens my door. I exit. Thanks again, Taylor. We'll see you in London, I murmur so Anna doesn't hear. Looking forward to it, sir. Safe travels. You too. I'll grab Mrs. Gray's hand luggage, he says, and my heart warms at Anna's new honorific. I walk around her door and open it wide. Leaning in, I lift her into my arms. What are you doing? She squeals. Carrying you over the threshold. She giggles, wrapping her arms around my neck, and I carry her up the plane steps, where we're met by Captain Stefan. Welcome aboard, sir. Mrs. Gray. He greets us with a bold grin. I set Anna down and shake his hand. Congratulations to you both, he continues. Thank you, Stefan. Anastasia, you know Stefan. He's our captain today. And this is First Officer Bailey. Delighted to meet you, Bailey says to Anna. Anna looks a little shell-shocked, but responds in kind to them both. All preparations complete, I ask Bailey. Yes, sir, she complies with her usual confidence. We have the all clear, Stefan informs us. Weather is good from here to Boston. Turbulence? Not before Boston. There's a weather front over Shannon that might give us a rough ride. I see. Well, we hope to sleep through it all. We'll get her underway, sir, Stefan says. We'll leave you in the capable care of Natalia, your flight attendant. Natalia? Where's Sarah? Natalia looks vaguely familiar. I ignore my misgivings. Excellent, I say to Stefan. And taking Anna's hand, I guide her to one of the seats. Sit. She does as she's told, folding herself into a seat with surprising grace. I remove my jacket, undo the buttons on my vest, and sit down opposite her. Welcome aboard, sir, ma'am, and congratulations. Natalia welcomes us, poised with 2 crystal flutes of pink champagne. Thank you. I take both and offer one to Anna while Natalia disappears into the galley. Here's to a happy married life, Anastasia. I raise my glass to Anna's, and we clink. Bollinger? She asks. The same. We've been drinking it for most of the afternoon. The first time I drank this, it was out of teacups. Her eyes have a faraway look. I remember that day well. Your graduation. What a day that was. I think spanking was involved. And a discussion about soft and hard limits. I shift in my seat. Where are we going? Anna drags me back to the now. Shannon. In Ireland? She squeaks. To refuel. Then? Anna's eyes are out on stalks. Her excitement is contagious. I grin at her and say nothing, tantalizing her. Christian! I put her out of her misery. London. She gasps, looking shocked and awed at once. Then her light-up Seattle smile is back. Then Paris, then the south of France, I continue. I think Anna is going to combust. I know you've always dreamed of going to Europe. I want to make your dreams come true, Anastasia. You are my dreams come true, Christian. Back at you, Mrs. Gray. Her words warm my soul, and I take another sip of champagne. Buckle up. Anna grins. I think she's pleased, and so am I. We're flying through the sunset to chase the dawn on the other side of the Atlantic. Once we're airborne, Natalia serves us dinner. Again, I'm starving. Why? Getting married really takes it out of a man. Anna and I discuss our highlights of the wedding. Mine was seeing her for the first time in her beautiful dress. Mine was seeing you, Anna confesses, and that you were there. There? Part of me had worried if this was all a dream and that maybe you wouldn't show up. Anna, wild horses couldn't have dragged me away. Dessert, Mr. Gray? Natalia asks. I decline and turn to study my wife. Running my finger across my bottom lip, I watch Anna, waiting for her response. No, thank you, she says to Natalia, gazing intently at me. Natalia leaves us. Oh, sweet heaven, I'm going to claim my wife. Good, I whisper. I had rather planned on having you for dessert. Anna's eyes meet mine and darken while her teeth tease her bottom lip. Rising from the table, I offer her my hand. Come. We head to the back of the cabin, away from the galley and the cockpit. I point to the door at the far end. There's a bathroom here. Passing through a short corridor, we emerge into the aft cabin, where the queen-size bed is ready for us. I pull Anna into my arms. I thought we'd spend our wedding night at 35,000 feet. It's something I've never done before. Anna inhales sharply and the sound echoes in my groin. But first, I have to get you out of this fabulous dress. Her breathing deepens. She wants this too. Turn around, I whisper. She complies instantly and I study her updo. Each hairpin has a tiny pearl on it. They're exquisite, like Anna. Gently, I start to extract each one, letting every strand of her hair fall free. My fingertips graze her temple, her neck, her earlobe, but it's the lightest of touches. I want to tease and tantalize the hell out of my wife. And it's working. She's surreptitiously shifting her weight from foot to foot. She's restless, impatient, her breathing is louder. She's aroused, just by my touch. And for me, her response is equally arousing. You have such beautiful hair, Anna. I breathe the words against her temple, enjoying her delicious fragrance, and a soft sigh escapes her lips. When I've removed all the pins, I ease my fingers into her hair and begin to slowly massage her scalp. She lets free a heartfelt moan of pleasure and leans back against me. My fingers travel over the back of her hair to her nape. I take a fistful of her lush hair and tug, giving me access to her throat. You're mine. I tease her earlobe with my teeth. She groans. Hush now. I sweep her hair over her shoulder and skim my fingers along the lace edging of her dress. A tremor runs through her as I press my lips to her skin above the top button. So beautiful, I whisper and undo it. You have made me the happiest man alive today. Taking my sweet time, I continue unfastening each delicate button. Her dress falls open, revealing her pale pink corset with delicate hooks at the back. My cock approves, big time. I love you so much. I skim my lips from her nape to her shoulder, murmuring between kisses. I want you so much. I want to be inside you. You are mine. She angles her head, offering her throat to me. Mine, I utter against her skin, and slip her sleeves down her arms so that her bridal gown falls to her feet, in a delicate shock of silk and lace, leaving her in her corset with garters and stockings. Sweet Jesus, stockings. All the blood in my body heads south. Turn around. My voice is hoarse. Inhaling sharply, I study my wife. She looks demure and really fucking hot all at once. Her breasts forced up and full beneath her corset, and her hair is a tumbling riot of lush chestnut. You like? She asks, and she turns a fetching pink that matches her sexy underwear. More than like, baby. You look sensational. Here, I offer her my hand, and she steps out of her dress. Keep still, I warn, locking my eyes on hers. I run a finger over the soft swell of her breasts. They quiver beneath my touch as she inhales and exhales, faster and shallower. I love turning my wife on. Reluctantly, I lift my finger from her skin and spin it in the air. Turn around for me. She does. When she's facing the bed, I ask her to stop. Encircling her waist, I pull her back against my chest and kiss her neck. From this angle I have a glorious top view of her straining breasts, and I can't resist them. I embrace each and hold them, letting my thumbs move over their soft swell of her nipples, circling each over and over. Anna moans. Mine, I breathe. Yours, she whispers. She pushes her ass against me, and I have to fight my urge to press myself into her. As I skim my hands down the soft satin, over her stomach, her belly, to her thighs, my thumbs briefly skating over her vulva, she leans her head against me, eyes closed, and groans. My fingers find her garters, and I unhook both of them at the same time. Then I move my hands to her fine ass. Mine, I whisper as I caress her backside, and my fingertips brush beneath her panties. Ah, she moans. She's wet. Fuck, Anna, you siren. Hush. I unclip her garters at the back and lean down and pull the duvet back. Sit down. She obliges, and I kneel at her feet and tug off each of her shoes, placing them by her dress. I'm aware of her burning gaze as I slowly remove her stocking, my thumb skimming over her skin as I peel it off. I do the same with its twin. This is like unwrapping my Christmas presents, I whisper and peek up at Anna. A present you've already had, she says quietly. What? Her comment takes me by surprise. Oh no, baby, I reassure her, if that's what she needs. This time, it's really mine. Christian, I've been yours since I said yes. She moves forward and holds my face between her palms. I'm yours. I will always be yours, husband of mine. Husband. It's the first time she's said it since the ceremony. Now, she says softly against my lips, I think you're wearing too many clothes. She leans down to kiss me, but the word husband is ringing in my heart. I'm hers. Really hers. I kneel up and kiss her, grasping her head with both hands, weaving my fingers into her hair. Anna, I whisper. My Anna. And I kiss her again, properly, pushing my tongue in her mouth and tasting her. Tasting my wife. She answers my wordless passion with her own, her tongue finding and embracing mine. Clothes, she says when we surface for air, and attempts to remove my vest. I release her and shuck it off while she regards me with her beautiful blue eyes that are darkening with want. Let me, please, she pleads. I sit back on my heels and she leans forward and takes my tie. That tie, my favorite. As she slowly undoes it and pulls it free. I lift my chin and she unfastens my top button. She moves to my cuffs and removes each of my new cufflinks in turn. I hold up my hand and she places them in my palm. Clasping them in my fist, I kiss my hand and then slip them into my pants pocket. Mr. Gray, so romantic. For you, Mrs. Gray, hearts and flowers, always. She reaches for my hand and, peering up at me through her long, dark lashes, she kisses my wedding ring. Oh, God. I close my eyes and groan. Anna. She starts to unbutton my shirt. As she unfastens each one, she plants a soft kiss where the button once was and whispers a word. You make me so happy. I love you. It's too much. I want her. Fuck do I want her. I groan and shake my shirt off, then lift her onto the bed and lay her down beneath me. My lips find hers and I hold her head, keeping her still as we share our first horizontal kiss as husband and wife. Anna. My pants are getting too tight. I kneel up between her legs and Anna is panting, her lips swollen from our kisses, and she's staring up at me with want. Fuck. You are so beautiful, wife. I run my hands down each of her legs and grab her left foot. You have such lovely legs. I want to kiss every inch of them. Starting here. I press my lips to her big toe and graze the pad with my teeth. Ah, Anna makes a garbled sound and closes her eyes. I taste her instep and run my tongue to her heel, which I nip, then run my tongue to her ankle. I leave a path of soft, wet kisses up the inside of her calf, and Anna squirms. Still, Mrs. Gray, I warn, and for a moment I watch her breasts rising and falling against the constraints of her corset. It's a thing of beauty. Enough. It needs to go. I flip her onto her stomach and continue my journey of kisses up her body, the backs of her legs, her thighs, her backside, and for a moment I contemplate all that I want to do to her ass. Anna protests. Please. I want you naked, I murmur and unhook her corset. One hook at a time, at a languid pace. Once it's off, I plant a soft, wet kiss at the base of her spine and trail my tongue up the length of her backbone. Anna wriggles. Christian, please. I'm leaning over her, my constrained cock resting against her ass, and she wriggles against me. What do you want, Mrs. Gray? I utter the words just beneath her ear. You. And I love you, and I you, my love, my life. I undo my pants, kneel up beside her, and turn her onto her back. Standing, I dispense with my pants and underwear while Anna regards me, wide-eyed and wanting. I grasp her panties and whisk them off so that she's naked in all her glory beneath me. Mine, I mouth. Please, Anna implores me. I can't help my grin. Oh, baby, I love it when you beg. Crawling onto the bed, I lay a new path of wet kisses up her other leg, getting closer and closer to the top of her thighs. My objective, the sacred apex. When I reach my goal, I push her legs wider apart. She's wet and wanting, just how I like her. Ah, wife of mine, I whisper and run my tongue over her, tasting her and pinpointing her clitoris. Slowly I begin to torture her with my mouth. Round and round my tongue teases her oh-so-sensitive bud. Anna grabs my hair and writhes underneath me, her hips moving in a rhythm I know so well. She bucks once, but I hold her still and continue my sweet torment. Christian, she calls and tugs at my hair. She's close. Not yet. I move up her body, dipping my tongue into her navel. No! She cries out in frustration, and I grin against her belly. All in good time, my love. I kiss her soft stomach. So impatient, Mrs. Gray. We have until we touch down on the Emerald Isle. When I reach her breasts, I worship each with tender kisses and take a nipple between my lips and tug. I watch her as I lavish my attention on it. Her eyes are dark and her mouth slack. Husband, I want you, please. And I want you. I cover her body with mine, resting my weight on my elbows and run my nose down hers. Her hands are on me, my shoulders, my back, my backside. Mrs. Gray, wife, we aim to please. I brush my lips over hers. I love you. I love you too. She's pushing her hips up for me. Eyes open. I want to see you. Her eyes are a startling blue. Christian, she calls out, and I slowly claim her inch by inch. Anna, oh, Anna, I breathe. Her name is a prayer. She is heaven, my heaven. I start to move, relish the feel of her. Her fingernails dig into my butt and it drives me on and on and on. She's mine. She's really mine. Finally, she cries out my name and falls apart beneath me, her climax triggering mine, and I come inside my love, my life, my wife. Well, that is a chapter I'm tempted to have a cigarette after, to be completely honest with you guys. It is about damn time in this book they finally got around to the wedding, and the honeymoon for that matter. More to come on the honeymoon. Pun not intended, but it's probably going to be a thing. So until next episode, this is Couch Potato Mike reminding you guys, that in the end we're all stories. So let's make them good ones. See you next time, guys.